also, when I was competing, you do not know how frustrating it was when you had a situation where like maybe your opponent could like sneak replay codes or get them somehow, or like there's been issues. I think Owl, there was an issue of selling replay codes.
Oh,
Like
wow.
there's been scandals
Yeah.
and stuff around replay codes. Like it's serious. Like people like
Oh, sure. Of course.
they're like down low on it. And then also one of the other big things is that teams would deny streams for matches.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean,
So
I ask permission before
just
every FACEIT match if I can get a hold of people.
yeah.
Because it's I kind of have to respect their wishes on that. If that's something where they're not comfortable with it, or I mean, even if it is for trying to hide strats, or maybe they just don't want to feel pressured and feel like maybe they wouldn't perform the same way if they feel like eyes are on them. I don't know. It doesn't it probably varies depending by the team. But I absolutely try to get permission from every single team because that is important. And it does feel a little silly sometimes, especially coming from a production background. We would like do an open division and be in playoffs and be like, no, we don't want to be on stream. We're like, what do you mean you don't? It's winners bracket semifinals. What do you mean you don't want to be on stream? Like, we can't just not stream this game. Like that. That happened.
Yeah.
But
It's bad. It's bad. It's just, I don't think you can get away with scrims being very private and like all of that. But I think once you get to the point where it's official matches being secretive, that's when things get weird and it's not fun. And it's also for every single person outside of the professional sphere, it's even worse.
yeah.
Because then you have no idea what's going on. And it's just
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced it's good for the professional sphere, especially right now. We should be kind of growing as much as we can.
well, yeah, I mean, that's how you get sponsors. That's how you help things. I mean, the only reason why teams do it is because they have the option to try and give themselves a competitive advantage, right? And now
Sure.
my argument would be it isn't really a huge competitive advantage, but people will still try and hide things either way or be secretive about things either way, and that's just how things are. And the higher you go, the more secretive people will get, and it just kind of depends on the team sometimes. But yeah, so it's
I
just
can understand if you have a set strat you don't want to reveal. Like there's certain parts of that I can absolutely understand. Like, I mean, we would never have gotten the Great Bamboozle if they had revealed that in a scrim, right? And it worked once, and somebody tried to do it in contenders like a week later, and it failed miserably because they saw it coming. We're like, and that's a very unique and extreme example, mind you. But I can still understand with set plays kind of keeping that under wraps. But as far as like trying new comps and just general scrim info, like I don't know. I think it's better for everybody that we're sharing information. But you know what? I'm also coming in from an entertainment broadcast perspective. I'm not a coach.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I just think it's nice when the replay codes are posted anyways, so it's not a worry anymore. There is no competitive advantage to be had anymore. It evens things out, and there's less stress over that in general. So now we're on Lijiang Control Center, brawl-oriented map for sure. I know Junker Queen in particular has been popular on this map, but Ram is also good. It looks like maybe a Malga from the side of Tanuki.
Yeah, Arizona does love his Malga. Not the first time we've seen that. We're gonna get Sleek on a Pharah indoors, so can we plan around the outside and we're just trying to maintain distance. What's your thoughts on the Pharah here on Control Center?
I mean, the Pharah, we've seen it from Crazy Raccoon actually in OWCS, and it's a pretty interesting pick. It allows you to control that outside area. You play for that, and that's going to force, you see Tanuki are now on point, and they can't really do much about this Pharah. This Pharah is going to be free shooting for a while.
Gibbs trying to take advantage of it, and indeed, Arizona does just bail. It's going to be a regroup and rotate here out of Tanuki. They go to take White Room. Try to find a pick early, but just nothing to be found. Everybody from Alt Spartans doing a great job of just poking in and out from cover. Maximize. There's the move in. It's going to be a rush. Everybody bails. It's just Kibbs there to absorb the pressure, using the shout to do so. 2v1 in the corner, but the ice block is forced out. Solo's then eventually taken down as the pressure from the outside proves too much. Pair kills on the board here for Spartans. Kibbs is low, but not low enough to worry about, and it's going to be a flawless first fight.
Hypno keeping Kibbs alive forever there. I mean, that was great. Really, you just have to buy enough time. Kibbs has to buy enough time for Sleep to get value out of that angle on the Pharah, right? I think, especially with this Moira, Lucio kind of composition from Tanuki, they're trying to close these fights out fast. They're trying to make things they're trying to close things out early, but it's hard. You know, like first of all, Maywalls. I guess you try and punish Kibs here, but if Sleek is able to get the value early, it's rough.
Oh, there's the wall up. Kib's caught in a corner. Coalescence in. Kib still just won't die. Sound barrier, both support ults, as a matter of fact, invested to keep the Joker Queen alive. And Kibs and Hypno are able to combine for an opening pick onto Social with Sound Barrier in the pocket. Could have been just the tool to swing this, and Tanuki have to wait for it.
All right, another fight win for Spartans. Oh, the Malga Cardiac Overdrive committed. Going to force Spartans away for now. Tanuki, they have the freeze here, but Kibs, I think really just this JQ ult in particular, very, very important. Social has the beat for it.
I mean, everybody's just kind of got to avoid it, right? I mean, yeah, the beat's got to be perfect. It's an immediate charge on the front, and Sleek out of the picture right out of the gate. Does it look like Social was able to loop up to the high ground, combined with Temp to get that one. Rampage only gets Arizona. The Sound Barrier still invested, all 5 players with the shielding, and Arizona able to just stand tall. Ends up just retreating back, I think, looking to find exit picks as the retreat was in. And nice as they able to cut off the escape there of the Spartans.
Tanuki able to take an economical fight there, only committing the beat. Now, Spartans, they're going to come back. No more Rampage. They do have the Barrage, though. Probably going to have Sleek approach from the outside, and they should take this slow.
Sleek's made their presence known. Temp is going to... Thought about poking out there. Ooh, the boop. Hypno makes it back on. Slow down. Sleek, oh, punished the moment they tried to enter. Just never got a chance to open up with that Barrage.
Yeah, that was a bit... I think Kibs goes for the entry, knows that the wall is going to happen, so really commits to it, but that's too difficult. And now they weren't able to get an ultimate out of Tanuki, so Tanuki are going to be able to... Oh, wait, that's huge. That's a huge pick.
Cage looking big, and then Suzu's going to protect Sleek through that Barrage. Big investment there from Old Spartans. And the Blizzard might just win it out on the other side. Somehow, it's an even trade back and forth. A flip in the middle of it. 99% on the board there for Old Spartans. And Temp will not make it back. Solo's in trying to loop around. Who else is here? Social's on the point. Just supports here for Tanuki. Social trying to get away. Cannot escape. Gibbs is able to put him down. And a Kitsune Rush should seal the deal here for Old Spartans.
Kitsune, yep. Lish gonna be back with the Venture. Not gonna matter. Sleek with 2. Looking for a third. The Moira's back. No fade. Sleek with a third. Sleek with a fourth, and that will be Control Center 100 to 59. And I'm having trouble today. I like lost my voice all of a sudden.
It happens.
It happens. It happens. Like I'm tripping over my words and everything. I'm all over the place.
It's Monday. I mean, I'm telling you,
that's true.
I was feeling the same thing all day. Like I was coming into this. This is my 10th match in 3 days that I've streamed. 10th FACEIT match that I've streamed in 3 days. My brain is a little melted. So I'm right there with you. Don't worry. You're not alone. Yeah. You're not alone.
I do want to say, I was spectating Hypno. A lot of that last round, it was insane. A few like soft flanks here and there. Generally pretty good Suzu usage on Kibs. I think Spartans had that one off fight where they just played it super, super, super fast. But after that, I mean, that early pick onto the Lucio, really key. But now we have interesting compositions from both teams. Same composition as Spartans, but Tanuki, they're playing a double Alari Kiriko, double flex support. Very range-based.
Yeah, with an Orisa and an Far of their own as well. I mean, like you said, very, very range-based, very poke-based composition.
Oh.
Where you gotta hide, Social does not make the rotation. Or got booped off the back, perhaps?
Yeah, a little awkward here. Now, all Spartans need to do is close the distance, but Kibs is kind of stuck in the back. Temp gets a pick onto Sleek, and it seems like a bit of a stalemate here. Spartans can't really advance.
Well, and Tanuki have the positional advantage. They're starting to get the cap. There's the control. Kibs is just a touch late to deny that. Trying to move in on the Lucio in the back line, but Social staying too elusive. Kibs gets himself stuck in a corner, and Arizona happy to punish. Looks like Kibs and Sleek, though, strike back with a pair of their own, as this chaotic scramble around the backside seems to be playing out in Spartan's favor.
All right, Sleek, a very, very effective angle there. Hydra able to follow up, and it looks like that'll be a fight for Spartans. Going into next fight, Hypno very, very close to the Kitsune. This round has been going on for a while for no ultimates to be in play just yet. Sleek also approaching the barrage. Arizona and Solo Zen also close to their ultimates for the side of Tanuki, so I think Kitsune from both sides. That's what we expect early on. Oh, that's not good.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
Jabba
not
spin in the
good.
corner. Oh, and Lich just punishes. What a little 1-2 punch as Arizona put him in the corner and Lich put him in a spawn. This is going to be a quick fight win and a quick flip right back into Tanuki's favor.
Didn't expect Kibbs to overstep so far on the Diva now. I think that's going to help Spartans close the distance here. Just going to play for that. Both teams still have the Kitsune. Beats also approaching, so this is going to be a very ultimate-heavy fight.
They pulls the trigger on the rush first. Big rotation out of Kibbs. Arizona kind of moves in between Kibbs and the rest of all Spartans. Maybe trying to bait out the rush at that point, but they don't take it. So he's still playing off on the outside.
Hydra on point. There's the Kitsune.
Moving into the point. Looks like Tanuki have fallen all the way back to the back. Tip falls back a little too far and ends up being a 4v5. There's a sound barrier for both teams, still fighting over the front door. Sleek drops in through the window. Low barrage. Nothing to block it. Lich gets 2. Sleek gets taken out of theirs. It's a trade of justice. Still, there's 3 players left here from all Spartans, and this fight continues.
Yeah, it looks like Spartans, they are going to get the flip here. Temp is low, has the Bob available. Will Temp able to get away? No, Sleek finishes that kill. Arizona back on the Doomfist. A bit of an overcommit. Is able to get out with the punch. Will Arizona stick with the Doomfist here? I think not. Going back to spawn, looking for a quick stop. Now Spartans up to 50%, but if Tanuki take the next fight, they're in a very, very good position to win this round. And I believe this is going to start off with a Bob.
Hydra almost found out early in the fight. Check on Temp. Temp with eyes on Hydra's got to be clocking that pulse bomb. That could just end the fight before it begins. But Tuki's able to close the gap and make the move towards Courtyard. Rotation back. Bob in on the point in pursuit there. Bob even absorbed the pulse bomb along the way. Not sure how that one quite worked out. Okay. Now, all Spartans all the way back on the corner. Nowhere else to go. Self-destruct out, and they've got to make a stand. It's a Kitsune rush and try to counter-punch back in onto the point.
Kitsune's good.
Yeah, Tanuki with a good disengage, though. Arizona, well, flies through the window in front of everybody. As soon as that was a good disengage, Arizona just flies in front of everybody's LOS and gets demacked.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Solo Zen approaching the Kitsune now. I think they're going to look for a remake here. Arizona did not jump off the edge. That is going to provide an opportunity here. Oh, Sleek, Temp with the pick. That might be the hero play here. Yeah,
huge pick indeed. And Solzen's going to get that Kitsune rush out in front of the point. A lot of low health bars here from Tanuki, but Temp gets yet another one, and they're going to rotate on to the objective. Arizona finding happens along the way. 85% of the board for him.
Temp, 60% to the Bob. Lich very, very, very close to the barrage as well. I think beats from both teams are the key, though.
Rotation along the outside here for Spartans. Lich is right hot on their heels. The beat off the side! Oh. The beat flew down ground level. Oh, and it rings true there for Tanuki on point. There's a lot of green health bars, but Hydra comes up with the pick. Sleek able to stay alive only momentarily. Kibbs in pilot form, no match for Arizona. And Tanuki take that one in glorious fashion. Social dropping the AJ in chat. Yeah, you think? You think?
All right, that was an Ajax. I unfortunately did not have that on screen. Yeah, so Tanuki are going to even that out. And that was an interesting starting composition. They adapted it a bit. Maybe a bit of a first fight approach with the double flex because it's really hard to retake without speed in general on control.
Now, just on the Ajax real quick. So it was a conch blast off the side. So the Ajax was up in the air, and Happens just kept the arm up in the air as they go flying off into eternity. It was amazing. Anyway, apologies.
All right. Junker Queen Mirror from both teams. TP at a spawn. There it is. And we have a near mirror matchup. Echo Ash, though, for Tanuki. A bit of a slower version.
Spartans do get position around pillar. Going to be quite advantageous, and they're able to put some shots through Dojo as well. Kibbs making a move along the inside, trying to get aggressive here to dislodge Arizona. Just a couple of exchanges, shotgun blasts, and both teams kind of retreat to their respective corners. But Spartans inch forward, gain a little bit more space, now looking to grab control of the point. Rotation around the outside here for Tanuki.
All right, Spartans' initial positioning there, very, very strong, able to force Arizona away. Now Tanuki on the back foot, and it's very, very hard to approach this point because they don't have any angles with this Echo Ash. The Echo is going to try and come out from the outside, but it's just difficult.
Yeah, it takes a couple of pot shots and just has to come right back down to main. And they're just trying to kind of muscle it right up the gut. A lot of damage in, and even Arizona doesn't feel like they can turn the corner. They're just getting pummeled in from the other side. And Hypno almost at the Kitsune Rush is going to make it even more difficult. Solozen beats him in, but Leech goes down on the approach. Sound Barrier barely makes it out. Social, that was close. It's an absolute mosh pit here in the middle of Gardens. Suzu used. Kid's able to get a nice kill on the back of it. And Arizona finds themselves low on the point.
Fight defining Suzu there from Hypno, and this fight is going to close out. Win for Spartans in a very long win, right? An early cap there. Tanuki forced into a disadvantageous position, and now retaking with this Echo Ash is gonna be difficult because, like, this Echo Ash, it plays off of angles, right? But when you're defending, you know, you can define the angles at that point, but when you're attacking, you're forced through one of these small chokes, in this case the bridge, and you don't have much flexibility here.
And you have to spin to get those angles, and they don't have much to spin. There's a good pick, though. That'll open things up. Now you don't have to worry about the flank nearly as much, and that's going to shut down the Rampage. Oh, my. What a turn of events. Has the winds just shifted?
2 ultimates out from Spartans and nothing to show for it. I don't know if you saw, but Hydra went for a pulse onto Solozen and just died. And then Solozen just soothes themselves. And that didn't work out. and then you know, and then an Ajax, and then a Rampage Axe, or whatever you want to call it. So not a lot from Spartans there. A little embarrassing. Temp has the Bob to open this, and now, like I said, this is a defense-oriented composition. If Tanuki play this slow and they play smart, they should be in a pretty good position to hold for a while.
See, Temp has got a good sightline all the way down that hallway to White Room with that Bob in the pocket. Shout out from Kibbs with the Rampage hits 4. And Sound Barrier is good out. It happens. And Kibbs is standing tall here on the front line. Landed the Gracie, but a great Suzu out from the duplicated Lich. Double Suzu is pretty nasty. So it's a rush on the point as well. But Tim can't get it done. Ends up going down to the back. Hydra finds 2. With 1 health, they escape to the Mega. Opening up this fight big, despite what looks like a great advantage there for Tanuki.
Few key plays there. Hypno with the initial pick on the Social, who was very close to beat, meant that Tanuki couldn't trade beats. They could not trade beats. And then Hydra in with 2. I mean, those were some pretty impressive mechanical plays that made the difference, even in a fight where they had the ult disadvantage.
And now they have swung the macro back in their favor, though there is this Sound Barrier to contend with. So it's going to be a pulse. Misses in the back. There's the push in. Lich able to win the duel, and Sleek on the outside. Now turn their attention on the Lich on the point. Somebody from Tanuki has to stay anchored here. The stickies and the focusing beam will land. Kibbs is gone. Arizona chasing the supports off. We'll start lighting up the feed, and Tanuki get back in control. Ooh, that was a fun little interaction. Oh, down in the pit. Happens, almost got out of that.
A slight amount of risk to that aggressive beat, right? Because Kibbs was approaching the Rampage. Tanuki were confident that they could use it there, though, but that does mean they don't have as much of a response to the Rampage now going into the next fight. Both teams are going to be approaching Kitsune, and both are playing for that Kitsune, so we have to watch out for that. Looks like Spartans are going to play opposite side. This makes it a bit harder for the Ash Echo to directly poke, so we'll see. Probably just Kitsune's force down point.
Slow approach here right out of the gate. There it is. The rush is just predicted combined with the Rampage. Arizona the only one hit by that, or at least after a Suzu comes out. Lich duplicates Junker Queen this time around, trying to focus down, but there's just too much shielding. Eventually picks up Kibbs on the point, gets him low, wins out the duel. And that's a pair of kills, lighting up the fade. Too many Junker Queens for Spartans to deal with.
Okay. And that might be it here. Tanuki.
Asher's low, no touch.
It's a solid fight when it happens. Gonna go for the touch here. Booped away by Social. Sleek unable to touch, and that will be Tanuki taking our first map today. And an incredibly close map of Lijiang.
That point on the board here. Now we do producer stuff. Wait, all right, I gotta go change the point. Map score.
Producer stuff is fun. Yeah, this fight in particular is crazy. The ultimates used here, and then like that freeze as well. But like the first
that blizzard was massive.
Yeah, and then the blizzard to deal with the cage, and then the pulse too. The pulse, like everything went right for Spartans there, but you know, Tanuki just barely pulling through. I really like the aggressive beat play on that last round from Tanuki. I think, you know, that shows pretty good awareness with the ult tracking. And they were aware of what they needed to do and what they could get away with, and they got away with it, and it worked out for them. Because, you know, once you're on the defense, I think they're okay as long as they retake with dealing with the rampage, because then you kind of have to force it through main, and that's what happened in that final fight. So,
well, I think
they just wanted to get the retake.
I think Hypno might have been looking for the AJ in the back. Like, they do a good job of kind of patiently waiting out the pulse first, and then kind of finding that little window between, all right, they are able to fend off, I mean, Hypno or Hydra. It was Hypno.
Yeah.
No, Hydra. Hydra's on the
Hydra, yeah.
Hydra's the tracer. Hypno was the Kiriko. Yes. Fending off Hydra in the back line and able to kind of, you know, dodge on the pulse, get the boop in there to disrupt that, and then snap in that window before Rampage comes up, but able to avoid the pressure there from Hydra. This was nicely done.
Yep. It was good. All right.
Looks good. Stats are pretty dead even down the board. Arizona had 17,000 damage.
Oh.
Leading the server. Yeah, damn near 18.
Nice. So you have like an overlay that gives you stats actually.
Yes. If you look at the like where the original match lineup was, where you can see where the maps are. And
I think they have in the program, don't they?
You can just click on scoreboard. Yeah, and it'll show you, like, it'll just now. It just doesn't show you a map number, but after we finish map 2, it'll come up and show like round 1, round 2, round 3.
Got it. Okay.
So no, it took somebody else pointing it out to me too. Like, I was like, oh, wait, I think it was Ocean. Ocean was like, you know, there's stats you can go look at, right? I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. I love stats. Let's go look at stats.
That is fun. That is fun. Okay.
All right, Paraiso banned out by Tanuki. Icavalda banned out by Alternate Esports. And it is Blizzard World picked here for Tanuki for map number 2. Oh.
Blizzard World. I want to see how these teams approach it. I mean, I would think dive compositions in general would have the advantage here. And we can already see the defensive composition from Tanuki. Like we saw, I think they are pretty comfortable with double flex. I mean, for them to walk out on it on Li Jiang especially, right? But they're on Illari. I like that. I think it's a very, very good variation for these longer maps. We've seen that out of other well-known teams as well. And then the Diva with that, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty balanced. And a good approach to this map. And we see a more traditional composition out of Spartans with the Ana Brig, Ash Tracer, and the Winston. Very, very simple, very basic. A more well-protected backline.
Now, is Social and Solozen going to be vulnerable to this Hydra Kibs dive? Is the question, right? And I guess it's if they can close the gap.
You have to be worried about Solozen really too, because, you know, Social does have some sort of a movement CD. Solozen doesn't have a lot to work with here, and gonna back up immediately. Tanuki playing this very, very slow, very patient. Kibs looking for the jump though.
I think I was waiting for Hydra. Hydra was a little low, had to kind of top off and regroup. And Lich is doing a decent job of marking at least Mega's side. And it's got Hydra in their sights right now. A little bit of duel on there. While Kibs not able to make the jump just yet. Arizona dancing around the point, and Kibs has been forced all the way back towards the Lost and Found.
Lich took the Tracer 1v1. Hydra's gone. Spartans forced away. Sneak picked off as well. A bit of a mistake there on the rotation out. Not able to cut away properly. Oh, Kibs low. That's dangerous. Nade will hit Kibs. Okay, Spartans are finally in a decent position. Hypno close to the Nano, and that will be the engage tool for both teams. Solozen also approaching that Nano, and that Nano is very dangerous if you're on Illari, so Solozen needs to watch out for this.
You see Kibs kind of just taking a little extra poke damage, letting the rest of that build up. 91% for Hypno, and Kibs taking it very slow right now. In the meantime, we are seeing Hydra loop around on the outside, try to regain an angle here on the flank. Be able to try to push in once this Nano's ready to go, which is about now.
Waiting for it.
Very low Kibs, though. Kibs is taking a lot of pressure, a lot of low health bars. They can't engage just yet. Ooh, they're able to get back topped up. Sustain. There's the Nano in. Kibs is going to go back for the back line. Gets booped down. I think got hit by Arizona out of the air.
Good nade.
Now
Really
the
good
return
nade.
nano, and Kibbs is dead. Yeah, that was too good a purple. You're not surviving that.
Yeah, that was a really effective response from Tanuki, and that nano took way too long. 2 minutes left on the clock. I mean, half the time has been removed, and that's just 1 nano for half of your time. Not great, and you have to remember both teams, I mean, they both have 4 ultimates. Tanuki a little bit ahead for this next fight. Spartans need to be aware they don't have the rally just yet, so they can't really, like, sustain through much yet. I think if they get the rally before they advance, they'll be okay, though.
Similar push up front. This time Hydra is sticking with the rest of the team, kind of foregoing, moving through Mega. Happens with a quick push in.
Oh,
5% away. Ooh, Lich gets the stick in the back, and that is just going to put an end to this. Kibbs is already low. An exit pick here could be disastrous. They're going to get it.
Beautiful pick there. I mean, I really feel like Spartans are slow in the rotation in, slow in the uptake, and that's perfect for an Ana Alari comp. And, you know, Lich had all the time in the world there, too, to hit that pulse. Like, they took their time. They took their sweet time. Up from the high ground, blink down, just hit a casual pulse, and send Spartans right back to the spawn. Now,
another day at work.
Engage. Looking for something. Gonna clear it this time, though. That's at least something. Trying to get rid of this Tracer.
It's gonna be a Captive Sun aimed directly into Griffin. Back into the corner, hits the shield of the rally. But now Ken to get anything done with this. Happens comes exploding out of the top. Bob out onto the point from the defense. Here comes the offensive Bob back into the corner. We're getting rid of the scrim back here with a rampage in from Kibbs. Happens has died, but the defense is kind of scattered to the winds. Tried to get Hypno. Hypno dropped down. The peel just in time from Kibbs. Self-destruct out from Arizona on the point. Oh, and it gets to the bubble went on the wrong side. Oh, no. And this defense comes out on top with a miracle self-destruct. Oh, my. And it happens blown to space just to conclude it all out.
What a defense there. I mean, honestly, the ult usage was pretty much perfect. I think my least favorite ultimate from Tanuki that entire round was the Captive Sun. I think that was a bit of a waste. That was way too early. But beyond that, I mean, they were on top of it every single fight. And I think I cannot stress this enough. Spartans are too slow. They can't just wait forever, and they need to set the tempo. And, like, you know, and sometimes they were skipping steps too, right? Like, they forget to clear the high ground, the Tracer's up there, free pulse. You have to be careful about that. You have to take every step, but you have to take those steps fast and then get that first Winston hit off early.
I mean, especially running into double flex support.
Yeah.
Like, Tanuki just had all the time in the world to sit back and just plink them down. Even on the nano fight where it's like, okay, go. And then, you know, I'm just looking at it from Hypno's POV, and Hypno's looking around at a bunch of critical health bars, you know, as the nano comes online.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they really took their time, especially in that one specific fight, farming the nano. Now, I think it's really just up to Tanuki to avoid the mistakes that Spartans made, right? And we have to see what we need to see from Spartans is more effective ultimate usage. Now, they will have a more solid backline that will be a bit harder for Arizona to dislodge. But will that be enough? Because, you know, once the ultimates come into play, Tanuki can take the advantage. But, you know, Spartans, I'm not sure. What we have to see it's just ult usage. It's ult usage. Can they play it faster?
Ulper QQ, thank you for the follow, says that Arizona might be the best tank in NA. Might be a little bit of a hot take, but you know what? I love the support. Love to see it. I'll give you some Arizona POV here on this attack, and putting a lot of pressure on the Kibbs early. Kibbs trying to hole out here in Mega, but it's hard for Winston to maneuver into this low overhang. And the jump, yeah, it doesn't get you very far out, and Kibbs might just get punished here. The nade not going to be enough to keep him alive. Temp falls on the approach, but still a player advantage here for Tanuki, and Lich just cleaning up in the back line as I hit the wrong button. Lich could be another one. Oh, that's 3 for Lich. This is looking like a map right there. It's a 2-0 Tanuki lead.
Hit was too greedy. The Winston hit was too greedy, and that was fast-paced from Tanuki. That is exactly what I want to see. That's the difference. You could tell the difference with that attack. The confidence there. Rotate through the left side, clear the Winston, move forward, win first fight. Easy, right? So that's the second map going to Tanuki, and I mean, they can close this out. they can close this out in this next map, and they keep up the tempo, especially if it's a more dive-oriented map. I feel like they're going to have a pretty major advantage here.
Oh, let's see. We're headed into map 3. It's at least alt Spartans pick headed into map 3. Before we get into that, let's not get into spoilers. I want to look at some stats from map 2 here on my end, at least. See, I mean, this is obviously going to look pretty one-sided. I want to see what stands out. I mean, Happens never died. That's pretty standout.
Oh. That is, yeah, that...
Or excuse me, didn't get any elims. It was Lich didn't die. Yeah, my brain just said it backwards. I dyslexia that completely. But
yeah,
yes,
Lich did not die.
Lich didn't die, or Soda didn't die, or
Lich
3
playing
deaths.
Tracer too. For a Tracer to not die is actually pretty surprising. Tracer's usually the one who just randomly dies.
Of the 3 deaths on the team, it wasn't the Tracer.
I mean, Lich went off there. I feel like Lich, especially the defense, just went unmarked. Like I said, like they forgot to clear the Tracer. I think they did it in the final fight, and that was it. But beyond that, it wasn't great.
I mean, it's an important thing to keep in mind. It's not something I think about, you know, like, it's like, oh, gotta clear the Tracer. Gotta clear the Tracer. It's his brain.
Gotta take your steps.
Okay, so it's Colosseo banned out. Alt Spartans at least get map picked to try to bring this one back to start a reverse sweep.
All right. Runasapi. I think there's a few approaches to it, but mainly I think D.Va right now has seen like a lot of play. Winston as well. I think the D.Va's better. If Juno were available, we'd see like a lot of D.Va here. But the Winston can be good. So like either are fine. I feel like Arizona likes the D.Va more. That's what I would assume. From what I can tell. So Tanuki, I expect him to go the D.Va route, but we might see the opposite, the Winston route from Spartans. Or maybe Spartans won't go for the dive because the dive didn't work very well for them the previous round at least. So we'll have to see. Right. It could. I mean, we could see a Brawl Mirror, although that would be somewhat surprising for sure. This map is very dynamic. It's kind of all over the place at times. Yeah. That's true. I definitely think out of all the maps, like, in the game right now, this one feels super hit scan dominated at times, in particular. Like, Ashe here has been very strong from what I've seen. Like, a lot of Ashe. But we might not see Ashe from either team. And what are Tanuki playing? What is that? Okay. Yeah, no, but it was looking like a real comp. You know what I mean? Okay. Temp, I feel like the Cass pick here is the most surprising. The Cass instead of the Ashe, right? Because why? Yeah, it looks like for now Spartans do have the positioning in this first fight. Temp in a bit of an awkward position. Yeah, Arizona's quite low, and Temp is isolated. Yeah, it looks like Tanuki will be able to get one more fight. Arizona over to the Orisa. I mean, this is going to be late. This is going to be really late. It might be a checkpoint. It's going to be a bit of a rush fight from Tanuki for sure. And both teams approaching Kitsune. Look out for that in the mid-fight. Yeah, first rush there for Tanuki. Hypno unable to use theirs, and it's going to be a stagger. We stagger into a Kiriko, actually. It's a surprising kind of a stagger. Oh, it's gonna be... Oh, this is brutal. This is brutal. Hydra almost able to save Hypno. Very, very, very close, but... yeah. Yeah, that's close. That's probably the longest stagger you could get there. And that's gonna be huge. That might actually get checkpoint here. Looks like Happens will get Hypno back pretty fast. And it's gonna be an early Kitsune from Spartans. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, Lich was trying to hold on to the bot there for a moment, but Hypno took him out, and now a bit of a reset, a soft reset from Tanuki. Solozen's very close to Kitsune here, very, very far ahead of Hypno, who used last fight. So that's going to be the key here. I think Tanuki need to get a lot of value out of this. Maybe run down Kibs. Ooh. Oh! That was not great. I think Kibs just stayed in a bit too long. You lose your tracer. You probably fully disengage at that point, and that's probably going to allow a checkpoint here as well for Tanuki. Not going to be able to re-engage in time. We also see Sleek over to the Ash, and yeah, so complete compositional change. Both teams can now trade the Kitsunes. Ooh, that's very... Yeah, I'm not sure about the double commit there onto pretty much nothing. And there's a bit of a better Kitsune from Spartans, who are going to take a lot of space real fast. Oh, it happens. Spartans need to get their... Kibs needed to survive until Happens could get back. The beat was available. No, Happens. No, Happens. Why did you... No! Wait, what are we bobbing? What are we bobbing? Wait, what's going on? Okay. Spartans are slightly in shambles at the moment. That was a bob of all time. Yeah, so now Happens still has the beat available. I guess you can aggro beat into this. Solozen's low. Solozen dies here, I swear. I swear.
Oh, shit.
You better not.
I was muted for like the last 3 minutes. You know how awesome that is? Yeah, pro streamer. Pro streamer.
Okay.
Thank you, chat.
There's the Kitsune.
Yeah.
Oh, just kite, beat.
There's the beat. And look at the counterpunch. Arizona didn't overextend. They able to use his javelin spin, kind of back up around the corner. Watch for the flank from Hypno. Hypno going in deep. All right. Didn't quite get anything with it for having a swift step out. Now the pursuit.
Hypno needs to live.
Used. Yep. Everything invested in that.
Oh, ready to use it. There it is.
Ooh, right over the sidewalk in the middle of the Arizona. Gets the Terra Surge. The Susie with a touch early. Kills traded out. The Kibs held on the front line a little too long. Self-destruct. I'm surprised you got back in mech. Oh, that one. Ooh, bold move. Pays off for now. But still, it's desperation time here. Survival mode out of Spartans.
Pulse misses. Lich is gone. Temp has the Deadeye, though. Social overextends. I don't think Tanuki can push this the rest of the way. Spartans have another chance in this series. They need to turn this around now. No ultimates available other than the Pulse. It's up to Hydra here in this next fight. I think if you hit a Pulse onto Social, you're the hero. You're the hero of the story, right? 3 minutes left on the clock. That's a huge lead to take back, right? 141, especially getting through the section after the checkpoint, right after the checkpoint. That's especially difficult. So really look at Hydra here, because this next fight is very important.
Hydra playing low behind the bot at the moment. Does eventually make a move on the inside. Lich is all over it. Already got your angle marked. Hydra force back out. Kids come in trying to close up. See if they can open up a lane here. They're just kind of fighting for jump pad at the moment. Not able to get through. It's been clogged up beautifully. Another boot from Social. Social seems to be marking Hydra more than the other way around.
Social's control is incredible here. Now it looks like Happens and Hydra are going to take an angle over here to the left, and here's a Kitsune from Hypno. Will they be able to get something out of this?
Give me a counter punch right back here out of the back line. Hydra eventually goes in, tries to throw the pulse bomb on attempt, does not land, but Arizona fell on the front line from the shots of Slake. Happens low, no tank here for Tanuki, and they're still trying to fight this out. That's gonna be Bob throwing in to make this a 6v, actually 5v3.
Solozen's very low. There's the kill from Sleek, finishing the kill just barely. Oh, that's a huge pick from Temp, though.
Yeah.
Because Sleek's gone. That's gonna mean a forced reset here for Spartans. They can't continue to push for long. Arizona's almost back already. I mean, you know, those late
checkpoint. They have to. Okay, they'll get it.
They
got it. Yeah.
That is huge. That is massive. Happens has the beat for next fight. Social can match it. I'm not sure if Arizona can get much out of this. If Arizona can trap Sleek, I think that could be a fight win.
Keep an eye on Arizona's. Right now, they're just trying to make it up the straight.
Playing it real slow.
Sleek's back into this fight. Yeah, playing it out of the window. They gotta respect this Ashe sitting up here, putting a lot of poke damage downrange.
Oh
no! What an energy javelin. Hydra out of the fight. Happens. Goes down as well as Temp takes the Lucio down. No ult even required. Oh no, Tanuki are gonna win this dry. They didn't spin the thing.
Oh, that is not good at all. 5 ultimates coming up, 1 minute left on the clock. A lead of, well, I would say, let's do some mental math here, 90 meters. And now I'm not sure if Spartans can do anything here. They basically need to win, like, you know, 3 or 4 fights in a row, which, you know, that's doable, right? They've got this. They've got this. Happens has the beat, but will that beat be enough to even, like, sustain through this? I mean, it's probably gonna be Temp, maybe an aggressive Deadeye. I mean, you can kind of swing with Deadeye here if you want to. Looks like they're gonna bait, though. They're gonna, like, back up, just bait this open space. Oh, they're playing for the Deadeye for sure, because look at that. You see they're gonna try and bait into that space, and then Temp is gonna use the Deadeye. It's very, very hard for Spartans to advance, and they're very hesitant. Look at that.
It's up to Hydra. Hydra's going on a wide flank. Just try to push in on Temp because they know it and they can't. Hydra bails on that. How do you try to get through this? It's a desperation. Gracie just yeeted towards Arizona as this time runs out. This is going to be the last opportunity. Sleek finds Lich. That's a good start.
That was an incredible pick there. Sleek on an angle now. Solo's at it. Oh, another one. Ooh. Oh, my goodness.
Sleek might have just done this on the flank. At least extended Spartan's chance here, giving him a lifeline. And Solozen's going to go down. No ult spent. You didn't get anything out of Tanuki, but hey, at least you've got some progress.
Okay, so Spartans were able to take that without using an ultimate. Same with Tanuki, though, so this is going to be an ultimate heavy fight for the next one. It is now more reasonable for Spartans to take this fight, though. I think a pulse bomb from either team could end this game, though. I think that's something interesting. That's kind of the wild card here, but for the most part, it's just going to be beats traded, and then after that, it's a bit of a free-for-all.
Hydra is currently on bot duty at the moment. Kitsune
happens.
Happens! No! Gets moved off! No way! Oh no, and Social throws it up in chat immediately. Hydra will get one, but this is Tanuki keeping hopes alive. They are going to move up into top 6 as they put an end to Spartan season. It was a good match. And, oh, they fought hard, but Tanuki come out clean on top. Report by Lucio.
That's one of the worst Ajaxes I've seen in a while. That's one of the most brutal Ajaxes I've seen in a while. That is rough. Yeah, wow. Also, that was a fun match, though. That was a fun match. We saw a lot of Queen Jaxes, a lot of Ajaxes.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were all from Spartans.
Yeah, Spartans. Oh yeah, and we saw that one pulse. And then the Suzu, just the casual Suzu from Solos and there on Lijiang Tower as well. So, you know what? Like in general though, not even really considering Ajaxes, I definitely feel like Tanuki's ult usage was what set them apart in this match.
Absolutely.
I feel like it was a macro difference. Actually, I think Spartans had some really nice like mechanical moments, but and I think they were on maybe an even playing field in that sense. But I feel like Tanuki, honestly, like I think from what I can tell, they're spending more time in VOD. They're working on things more. They might be scrimming more often, and they're also just thinking about things critically.
I love it. Well, I mean, brilliant insight. Love it. I mean, they looked very clean. I mean, these are two teams that, theoretically were about the same in the standings. All Spartans actually a little bit higher in the standings. But, I mean, Tanuki just looked head and shoulders, like you said, very well polished across all stages of the series. I mean, they looked a step above. They looked dangerous. I'm telling you, this team looks dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really strong macro game. I think it was a bit of a slow start for them, but they warmed up. And, like, I think on Blizzard World, they showed no mercy, and it really showed that they were always a step ahead with their fight plans. The fight plans were great. Whoever's fight planning on that team, like, I want to know at this point. This is the stuff I want to know as a coach. Like, who is fight planning?
Oh no, Kibbs is in my chat. Oh, I'm sorry, bud.
I want to know who's fight planning for this team or who's coming up with some of these plans. I know a lot, like my favorite approach to fight planning is obviously having every player contribute to some extent, but still, I think it's really smart. It's really smart, a lot of the things coming out of this team. I
can ask real quick. It's Izzy, the manager here for Tanuki, is so happy to talk about our team, and it's wonderful. I love getting to learn about the insights of the teams, to kind of learn about the personality and the identity of the teams. And Izzy was in chat here with me earlier, did an interview with me a little while back. So yeah, I'll just send her a quick DM. Who does your fight planning mid game? I'll see if I can get you an answer. Shout out Izzy.
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot of the people, at this level, they're awesome. They're awesome. And I do think there's a certain level of ego and toxicity down in the sewers, but it's up at the top too, And I think the more positivity we can bring, the better. And I think I love to see matches like this, because I think, this match was very good spirited. This match was very good spirited. I think it was awesome, and there are a lot of great people in Tier 3. I think Tier 3 gets shit on for like being toxic, but it's not always bad. It's not always bad. There is a lot of good to it. I think there's a lot of fun to it too, because Tier 3 isn't a job, but Tier 3 can be a great hobby and a fun hobby where you're working with people. I mean, honestly, from Overwatch in general, I've built a lot of critical thinking skills. I know that sounds stupid, and that sounds like something like a professor would say or something. But like, it's a good hobby. It's not a bad hobby. You're getting some social interaction. You're doing stuff. Yeah. But yeah,
hey, I think Tanuki are marching. I think Tanuki are knocking on the door of Tier 2 here. You're talking about these being T3 teams and stuff, but I think Tanuki are 100% on their way to solidify themselves as straight up just a Tier 2 team. Like, they're just absolutely 100%.
They can absolutely make it there. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today. A 3-0, unfortunately. I was hoping we could get a bit more in. I'm probably going to go back to doing some Korea stuff, some playoffs for Korea. But it was great doing a cast with you, and I hope maybe we can do some casts in the future as well.
Absolutely. That was a ton of fun. Thank you for joining me. Good practice. I did get an answer. Arizona and Social do their
Arizona
fight planning.
And Social. Yep. You know what?
Social's the ult tracker, and Arizona does the fight planning. So there you go.
The take that Arizona's the best tank in NA then? Maybe that has some merit. Maybe that has some merit, in Tier 3.
Wait, there's two Kibbs in my chat? That's not confusing at all. Come on. Y'all can't do that to me. Damn it. Now Kibbs is like, wait, that's the other Kibbs. What are y'all trying to do to me? Anyway, all right. All right, thank you so much, OC. It was a blast.
Yep, thank you. All right, have a good one.
See you next time. You too.